Good morning, class. Welcome to another edition of Papa Llama's Advice Hole. Good morning, class. Whether you're building your own stock graphs or just trying to keep up with the latest market trends, you'll probably find yourself in a situation where you need some free stock market data. Where do you find it? How do you download it onto your computer so that you can analyze it on your own? Watch this video and you'll find out. In this video, I will walk you through the most practical options to find free limited data on the stock market. Of course, I've tested this, I've used it, we've done this in class several times, so it should be fairly easy. Just follow the steps. And like always, Papa Llama's Advice Hole is just for entertainment, a little bit of education, and a whole bunch of fun. Alrighty then, so let's get started. First, we want to open up Google because we need to search for the website that is going to give us our free data. The website is going to be Yahoo Finance. Go ahead and hit enter, and the very first entry in Google, Yahoo Finance, stock market, live quotes, and business. Go ahead and click on that. And this takes you directly to the Yahoo Finance homepage. It's a really interesting page, well worth reading if you want to get an idea as to what's going on in the financial world currently. Up here we have just the major exchanges and what they're doing today. Below here you have a lot of different types of news, and then on the right hand side you'll get some recently viewed stock quotes and some latest research reports. Again, when you have some time, spend some time here just clicking around, investigating. I think it's very interesting. But what we're here for is for the free data. So what we want to do is come up here to the search bar for Yahoo Finance, and we are going to type the company that we're interested in. In this particular example, I'm going to use the Wendy's company. This is the fast food restaurant Wendy's. So we can type in the company name, Wendy, or if you know the ticker again is just the 3 or 4 letter abbreviation that is used by the company to identify the company itself. You can type that in there. But we went ahead and put in Wendy. All the suggestions of the different companies that have Wendy's and so forth are in here, but really we're just interested in this first one, the Wendy's company. So go ahead and click on that, and it takes us to the homepage for the Wendy's Yahoo Finance page. So let's take a few moments here and try to digest what we're looking at. First thing you want to check is make sure that you're actually at the Wendy's company webpage, and the way you identify it is the company name should always be up here in the left hand corner. Once you start looking at a lot of these pages, they start looking familiar and similar, so just make sure you're at the right company. These 3 letters here, this is the ticker. This is what we just talked about. It's a 3 or 4 letter abbreviation used by the company to identify itself at the stock market. Now below that you'll see a line of numbers. This line of numbers tells you some important information. The $20.06, that's the current price for shares of Wendy's stock. So if I were to buy one share of Wendy's stock right this second, it would cost me $20.06. So that's a decrease of 19 cents from the closing from yesterday. So we have negative 19, and it's in red. Red is usually indicates losing money. Okay, and then of course this here is the percentage of 19 cents. So 19% represents 90.91%. Actually, you know what? If you notice, it just changed to 0.18. So one thing to know is that Yahoo data is real life data. Okay, it's constantly updating. Every time it has some new data, it sends it to you. So they just changed it again. So we're back to 19. So if you just look at that for a long period of time, especially through this little presentation, you'll see that those numbers are always changing according to what's actually going on in the market. Same thing with this chart down here. This is a summary chart of what the price of Wendy's shares were. So this is, since 1D is highlighted, it means this is 1 day, so today's data. And you can see that it started off pretty high, then there was a dip and a small recovery. Now, what you also notice is that there's a little gray gap here. That's because I'm filming at 3:38 p.m. on October 19th. And the stock market, this particular exchange, closes at 4:30 p.m. So this still will be filled in. It's a little bit of room to fill in some data between now and 4:30 p.m. So this is, like I said, is real live data. Okay, so let's look over here. Let's go ahead and digest all this information. Some points to make note of. The previous close. So this is the close yesterday at 4:30 p.m. It closed at $20.25. And then this morning, it opened up at $20.11. So it looks like overnight, because of some international trading and some pre-market trading and post-market trading, it decreased by a few cents. Not a big deal. And if we flip down a few rows here, we can see that the day's range. So the price of a share of Wendy's stock went down as low as $19.88. So that, if we look on our chart, was probably it's going to be here somewhere. It's somewhere in one of these dips. Okay, so that was the smallest amount that the Wendy's stock was today, and the highest price was $20.32. And that's one of these peaks that we have up here. Let's see if we can identify it very quickly. Probably what it opened up at. I can't get it very precise there. But so this is the low price of today and the high price of today. And one more number I want to point out is volume. What does volume mean? It's the number of shares that have been traded today. So some of those shares are people buying stocks, and some of those shares are people who sold their portion. Okay, so we don't know if the total number represents buying or selling, but we know that that's the total number of shares that have been traded. So far today, 820,640. As you can tell, this is changing by the second. So it's 821,690. Oh, just changed again. Anyways, you get the point. This is the number of shares that are being traded constantly, okay? All right. Going back to the chart here, it's red because, as you can tell, that it opened up this morning really high, and it looks like we have lost a few cents, so that's why this chart is red. If the stock was actually increasing, that would be a green chart. Now, as I mentioned before, this is 1 day's worth of data. It's actually today's worth of data. It's not full 1 day. But if we wanted to look at what happened the past 5 days, we could click 5D up here. If we want to see what has happened in the past month, so this is the past 30 days. Now remember, the stock market is not open on Friday or Saturday. I'm sorry, Saturday or Sunday. So this isn't a full 30 days of data, but it's worth a month. Okay, 6 months worth of data. And then you have this thing called YTD. What is that? That means year to date. So that started on January 1st. The Wendy's a share of Wendy's stock sold for $24.07. And today it's down to $20.11-ish cents, 13 cents really. Okay, and then of course 1 year in the past, 5 years, and if you look at all the data in history, it looks like Wendy's started selling its shares of stock November 1st, 1984, and you can kind of look historically at all the data and where, the ups and downs and where it's been. So that's all worth it. Now, this is a lot of data. If you think about the number of days between November 1st, 1984 to today, that's a lot of data. So for our example in class today, we're just going to keep it simple. We're just going to download 1 month's worth of data. So how do you do that? We are going to come up here. We talked about a few of the summary numbers. If you look over at Company Outlook, Chart, Conversation, Statistics, and then Historical Data. This is where we want to be. We want to be at Historical Data. You click on that, and this gives you all the data for the past year or so. And you can tell because here it says time period, October 19th, 2021 to October 19th, 2022. And it gives you 1 row of data per line, okay? So we're interested in the month of September. So let's go ahead and change our time period here. The easiest way is just to click on here and type in September 1st, 2022. And that's going to be our start date. And then our end date, of course, is going to be September 30th, 2022. Then we press done, and you can take a quick peek at the data that's listed on the screen. It says October 19th. Oh, the reason being is the next button you have to do is hit apply, and when you apply it, it should change this data here. So September 29th is the last day that it has data for that month. Okay, it looks good. Then we go ahead over here under the apply button. You see the download button. Go ahead and click on the download button. If you have a Chromebook, that will automatically save it onto your hard drive. So take a look there. It'll have a window that pops up and it says open folder, and open up that folder and go ahead and look at the location where the file is and change it. Put it in a subfolder that you can easily find as fast and as quickly as possible. If you're doing this on a PC, you will go ahead and click download, and you will get the traditional save as window, and you just have to come in through here and figure out where you want to save it, and it will take you there. Alright folks, so that's about it for downloading the data. In the next video, I'm going to show you some of the most common data cleaning techniques for beginners. And we will then move on to creating formulas, and eventually we're going to make graphs using this sample set of data. If you have any questions, leave comments below. I'll get to them as fast as I can. And of course, I will see you around. Have a great day, everybody.